you must be loving that person more than you're respecting yourself. And you cannot gain self-respect through bad decisions. Yeah, it's like you're digging the hole deeper. So what happens is you're losing self-respect and you're gaining attachment to them. And every time you go back to them, you lose more self-respect. So you lose any kind of fuel you would have or any strength you would have to leave them. Every time you go back, the self-esteem is going to cost you something. And it usually costs you your self-esteem. So if you take back the wrong person, each time your self-esteem drops, self-esteem drops, self-esteem drops. And then your self-esteem is too low to even have that conversation of leaving them. So you have to break that cycle. And even if you don't have the self-esteem to leave, you make the good and effective decision to do it, and you'll see your self-esteem rise. It's you have to just expect that it's going to hurt and it's not going to feel right. But what's to gain from that is your self-esteem will slowly rise, self-respect will rise, and it will get to a point where that person you're attached to no longer is attractive. And what I mean by that is your pain is my pain, your happiness is my happiness, your sadness is my sadness. You become emotionally attuned to your partner, and then what happens is hurting them becomes hurting you. Loving them becomes loving you. So when you find a partner and you invest time and energy to be attuned to their emotions, and also do this with your children, what will then happen is the relationship thriving will be a natural consequence, and it will also become a selfish act, because making them happy is a form of making you happy.
You want a masculine man that looks after you, absolutely. But men, their love language is acts of service. Whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, whether you want it or not. Their way of receiving love is you cooking for me, you ironing that shirt, you making my work has to stop when I come in the house, if you want a traditional man. If you want a CEO, the moment he wakes up, he's working. Brain is going da-da-da-da-da-da. Right. And the moment he leaves the house, is da-da-da-da-da. So when he comes home, his job has to stop. Yeah? A feminine man would make him less attractive to me. If I came home and my man was just like painting his nails and doing his hair, am I going to want to sleep with him?
Yeah.
Same thing happens when you come home and your wife's on her phone the whole day and there's food, like no one's cooking.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of stuff.
I think celibacy, especially on a man, is so unbelievably attractive, because what it means is that he is not accessible and available to everybody, and that immediately raises his value. I always say not everybody can drive a Bentley and not everybody can own a Chanel. Be a Chanel, be a Bentley, make people earn that, and you be so celibate to the point where you have to sometimes value your body parts and be like, no, you don't deserve it. No, you don't qualify. Whereas that guy who's out there getting so many girls in this out, it's just a bit embarrassing. It's like,
common mistakes do you think some women make when it comes to relationships?
I think the biggest mistake, and I know I'm guilty of this as well, is we don't communicate our needs and we expect them to predict. So what I mean by this is, say for example, we want to see somebody more often. We will say, I'm not going to ask him, I'm not going to say it because he should just know. If he wanted to, he would. But the reality is, when we don't communicate our needs, we teach people the wrong way to love us. If you're late every time you pick me up and I don't say anything in that process because I don't want to look needy or I don't want to look clingy or anything like that, I'm teaching you it's okay to do that. They think if I do this, I'm going to put them off, they're going to run away from me, and I'm going to look really needy. So, if you express your needs and it puts them off and they run away, you've lost the person who was never compatible with your true needs anyway. You've speeded out the outcome. You want a committed relationship. This person doesn't. By telling them you want a committed relationship, you get the answer to your questions way faster. This was what truly high-value men do. They pick super, super wisely. They're highly selective with the women that they choose. And then when they've chosen her correctly, they spoil her endlessly. They put her through the ringers. It's like, when you go to 6-7 rounds of an interview to get into those corporate jobs, they make you go through interview after interview after interview, a bit like going to a Harvard application. When you get to Harvard, they treat you well. Your life is set. But up until that point, they put you through it. What Pressure and Fit teach is take any kind of woman, don't give her too much, play games, treat her harshly. That's not what high-value men do. They've got a reputation. They can't just take any old girl and then try and train her. They ain't got time for that. They take a woman who's been well trained by her family. The reason being is because the really emotionally connected woman who's super loyal and super loving, she can't be with a man who's super busy. She can't do it. She's too anxious. She misses him too much. She needs him home all the time. She needs predictability. She needs stability. She wants a home. She wants you to help her put the kids to bed at night. Whereas the woman that's like, yeah, you can go on business trips for a couple of months. Yeah, you know, I'll see you when I see you. She tends to be a bit more emotionally detached. So what happens is that man ends up not having his emotional needs met at work, and sometimes they can be missed at home as well.
You've actually done some research looking at what predicts divorce. What did you find?
The most long-standing research into marriage and relationships was by the Gottman Institutions, and they studied 10,000 couples in a lab over a couple of days. They were able to predict with 80% accuracy which couples would stay together and which ones would get divorced within a year. And it was simple thing as responding to each other's bids for connection. What I mean by this is when we have a partnership where one person comes home and expresses an emotion, the other one picks up on it, that partnership has the base levels to last a really long time. So it could be a simple thing like you come home from work and say, oh, I'm so tired. And your partner says, why? What's wrong? Simple connection. From that connection, they trust each other and then they start to lean into each other. But if you come home and you're like, I'm so tired, and your partner either says nothing or says, why are you tired? I'm the one that's been with the kids all day. That turning away from each other's emotional needs is the training ground for divorce.